So there are different federations within the bodybuilding world. The NPC is a very big federation for bodybuilding. That's the one that I have been competing under for, since I started doing bodybuilding competitions. But there are also a number of federations that are smaller and only will allow natural bodybuilders to compete in their shows. So something that I've kind of been looking into is what other opportunities could I have within the bodybuilding world as far as competing in? And so there's another federation, it's called the OCB, and they only allow natural athletes to compete under their umbrella. And they do testing on all of their athletes that compete in their competitions to make sure they are free from a huge, ginormous list of banned substances. So I planning this weekend to go and watch an OCB show in Denver and kind of just get a feel for what it's like. I am a natural athlete, and if there are other opportunities for me to compete and be successful, then I want to kind of look into those and not just limit myself in one federation. So this weekend I'm going up to Denver to watch an OCB show, and it should be really interesting. I have a feeling that there will be a lot of differences and that the overall vibe will probably be pretty different, but I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of venture out and look at, these other federations and, maybe give it a try. So we'll see what happens, but that's the plan for my weekend.
Healthy looking toned body with good symmetry, balance, shape, and proportion with good posture, poise, confidence, and stage presence. Other factors that can affect overall appearance are suit fit, hair and makeup, skin tone, and complexion.
Even when the road gets tough, you're enough. I don't know how I deserve you. I'll always keep on coming back to you.
Bikini Masters, ladies, let's welcome them to the stage.
I'll always keep on coming back to you. Back to you. Even when the road gets tough, you're enough. I don't know how I deserve you. I'll always keep on coming back to you. Back to you.
Okay, so kind of sharing my experience going to the OCB show yesterday. Very, very different than the NPC. So there's different federations within bodybuilding, and the NPC is the only federation that I've competed under. I've done 4 shows under the NPC. The OCB is definitely smaller, much, much smaller. Not as recognized, I guess, as the NPC is. They only allow natural athletes to compete under them, and there's testing that does go on to make sure that the athletes that are competing are not taking any PEDs or unnatural supplements. So it's much, much smaller. The NPC shows that I've competed at have, a couple hundred competitors, men and women combined, whereas the show I went to yesterday had less than 50 combined. So definitely a smaller type of show. They do run things a little bit different. I guess one of the major differences that I saw was in between the pre-judging and the finals, they have every single competitor come out one by one and go through their own individual posing routine set to music. And then at the end, they do give, the best poser award as well. So, it's kind of a neat experience to see what other federations within bodybuilding are out there and how they run things, and kind of their stance and take on what they allow, how they do things, the type of athletes that show up there. Because there was less than 50 competitors, the sizes of the classes were very small. Typically, the class sizes that I've been competing in have had anywhere from 6 to 12, 13 athletes at a time, whereas yesterday I think the largest class period was 6. There wasn't anything larger than 6 in a class at any one time. So something to consider, something to think about. If it's another federation that I want to compete under, I don't know. I don't really know right now. There is an OCB show here in Colorado Springs in October, so maybe, because I'm not having to really travel and have all of those expenses involved in doing the show. So we'll see. I don't know. I guess I'll let you know if I decide to do that or not. But I'm still on the road, getting ready to compete in another NPC show October 1st up in Denver. So that's definitely on my calendar, and I have committed to doing that. So that for sure is happening.